Stop for a second. Take a deep breath and look at the world around you. Look at your hands. Look at the sky above Lagos, the bustling streets of Abuja, or the quiet soil of the village. We have been told since we were children that God created all of this. It is the foundation of our faith, the bedrock of our hope. But here is the question that has kept kings awake at night and made the greatest philosophers tremble in silence. If God created the universe, then who created God? Where did the Almighty come from? Before the first breath of wind ever blew, before the first drop of rain ever fell, before time itself was even a concept, what was there? Today, we are going deeper than we have ever gone before. This is not just a religious talk. This is an exploration into the very fabric of existence. If you think you already have the answer, I challenge you to stay with me, because what we are about to uncover will shake the very pillars of how you perceive reality. In our human world, everything has a beginning. Every story has a first page. Every car on the expressway has a manufacturer. Every phone in your pocket was once parts in a factory. Our brains are hardwired to think in terms of cause and effect. You see a child, you know there is a father. You see a house, you know there is a builder. So naturally, our small but curious human minds ask the ultimate question: who made the maker? But here is the first major shift you must understand. What if the question itself is flawed? What if we are trying to measure the ocean with a teaspoon? Imagine trying to explain the complexities of the internet or satellite communication to a warrior 500 years ago. He doesn't have the vocabulary, he doesn't have the mental framework to even imagine it. In the same way, we are beings trapped inside the box of time. We see life as a straight line, a start, a middle, and an end. We are born, we grow, and we pass away. But the Almighty, He is the one who created the very yardstick of time that we use to measure our lives. To ask where God came from is to assume that God is subject to time. It is like asking, what is the smell of the color blue? Or how many miles long is a kilogram? The question doesn't fit the subject. Logic tells us that if everything needs a creator, we would fall into an endless, bottomless pit of who made who. Like a line of people waiting for bread in Ikeja that never ends. If there isn't a first person at the front of the line, no bread ever gets served. There must be a first cause, an uncaused cause, something or someone who simply is. In our beautiful languages across Nigeria, we have names for this. We call him Olodumare, the supreme origin. We call him Chukwu, the great spirit. We call him Ubangiji, the master of all. These names are not just titles, they are pointers to a reality that exists outside of then and now. Consider the stars you see at night. Science tells us the universe is billions of years old, but science also struggles with the beginning. They speak of a Big Bang, a singular point of infinite density. But where did that point come from? Even the most brilliant scientists eventually reach a wall where logic breaks down. They realize that for something to exist today, something must have existed eternally. If there was ever a moment of absolute nothing, no atoms, no energy, no space, then nothing could ever exist now. Out of nothing, nothing comes. Therefore, something must have been here forever. That something is what we call God. Not a being who was born in a certain year, but the very source of being itself. He is not a part of the universe is a manifestation of His will. Think of a dreamer and a dream. Does the character in your dream ask where the dreamer came from? The character is limited to the dream's world while the dreamer exists in a higher reality. Stay with me, because as we move further, we are going to look at the mystery of the eternal now and why the fact that you are breathing right now is the greatest proof of a God who never had a beginning.
But before we dive into that mystery, if this journey is already opening your eyes, hit that subscribe button and join us. We are building a community of deep thinkers here, and you belong among us. Now, let us look at the dimension where time does not exist.
Now, let us travel deeper into the heart of this mystery. To understand where God came from, we must first understand the prison we live in. That prison is called time. You see, as humans, we are like fish swimming in a river. We only know the flow of the water. We see what is behind us as the past and what is in front of us as the future. But God? God is not the fish. God is the river itself. Better yet, God is the one looking down at the entire river from the mountain top, seeing the beginning, the middle, and the end all at once. This is why your brain starts to ache when you ask, who made God? You are trying to apply the laws of a created world to the Creator who stands outside of those laws. Think about the person who designed a video game. Inside the game, the characters have to follow the rules of the software. They need energy to move, they have walls they cannot pass, and they have a clock that counts down. But the programmer? The programmer doesn't need to eat digital food to survive. The programmer doesn't exist inside the clock of the game. He is in a higher dimension. In the same way, the Almighty is the programmer of our reality. When Moses, the great prophet, asked God for his name, God did not give a long history of his birth or his ancestors. He simply said, I am that I am. Not I was, not I will be, but I am. This is a statement of eternal existence. It means God is the only being in the entire universe who does not depend on anyone or anything else to exist. You need oxygen to breathe. You need food to eat. You needed your parents to bring you into this world. But God is self-sufficient. He is the necessary being. Think about the logic of a circle. Where does a circle start? If you trace your finger around a perfect ring, you can go on forever and never find a beginning or an end. It just is. Now imagine a being that is like that circle, but in every dimension. If God had a beginning, then God would be a result. And if he were a result, he wouldn't be God. He would just be another part of the creation, like a very powerful alien or a spirit. But the true God, the source of all, must be the point where the questions stop.
Let's look at this through the lens of modern science for a moment. Because even the stars tell this story. Scientists speak about the law of conservation of energy, which says that energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed. If even the physical energy in our universe has this quality of not being able to be destroyed, how much more the spirit that thought the energy into existence in the first place? We often struggle with this because we are afraid of the word infinite. It is a word that our minds cannot fully grip. If I tell you to imagine 1,000 bags of rice, you can do it. If I tell you to imagine 1,000,000, it gets harder. But infinite? Never ending? It feels like falling into a void. But just because we cannot understand it doesn't mean it isn't true. We cannot see the wind, but we see the trees moving in the streets of Enugu. We cannot see the source of God, but we see the order of the galaxies, the precision of the human DNA, and the breath in our own lungs. Every heartbeat you have is a gift from the eternal now. You are not just a random accident in a cold universe. You are the creation of a being who chose to step out of eternity to breathe life into dust. And here is where it gets truly mysterious. If God is eternal and God put a spirit inside of you, then there is a part of you that also belongs to that eternal world. But if God is so far above us, so eternal and so vast, why does he care about what happens in your life today? Why does the infinite care about the finite? The answer to that question will change the way you pray forever.
So we must ask ourselves the final, most important question.
If God is so vast, so ancient that he has no beginning, and so powerful that he stands outside of time, why does he care about us? Why does the Infinite One care about a single person walking the streets of Lagos or a student studying late at night in Benin City? The answer is as beautiful as it is mysterious. It is because you are not a stranger to the Almighty. If God is the source of all existence, then every breath you take is a borrowed moment from His eternity. You see, the fact that we can even ask the question, where did God come from, is proof that there is something divine inside of us. A goat doesn't ask about its origin. A tree doesn't wonder about the beginning of the universe. Only humans do. Why? Because the Eternal One has set eternity in the hearts of men. When you look at the design of the universe, from the way the earth stays at the perfect distance from the sun to the way your own blood flows through your veins, you see a signature. It is the signature of a creator who is not hiding. He is not a distant, cold force that started a clock and walked away. He is the ever-present. He is as close to you as your next thought. We struggle to find where God came from because we are looking for a physical place in a spiritual reality. We are looking for a point on a map when we should be looking at the compass itself. God didn't come from anywhere because coming from implies movement from one place to another within space. But God is the one who contains all space. The universe is not where God lives. The universe lives inside the mind of God. As we conclude this journey, I want you to carry this truth with you. You are never alone. In a world that often feels chaotic, where things break and people change, there is one constant, one unmoved mover, one eternal I am. He was there before the mountains were brought forth, and He will be there when the stars grow cold. Your life, your struggles, and your dreams are all held in the hands of the one who never had a beginning and will never have an end. This is the peace that passes all understanding. It is the realization that we don't need to understand everything about the Creator to trust Him. Just as a child doesn't need to understand how a father earns money to know that the Father will provide, we don't need to grasp the full nature of eternity to feel its power in our lives. If this video has touched your soul today, or if it has given you a new way to look at the great mystery, then our mission is accomplished. But the conversation doesn't end here. We are a family of seekers, and your voice is vital to this community. Before you go, I have a challenge for you. Look at your life today and find one thing that feels like a miracle, no matter how small. Then go to the comment section below and share it with us. Let's fill the comments with the wonders of the Almighty. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Join the Beyond the Verses movement here in Nigeria. Share this video with someone who is searching for answers, someone who needs to know that they are part of an eternal story. Thank you for walking this path with me today. Remember, you are a part of the infinite. Walk with your head high, for the Creator of all things knows your name. Until next time, stay curious, stay faithful, and keep seeking the truth. God bless you.